How's it going, everyone? Roslyn here. Today I wanted to try something a little bit different. Gonna have a little short video here, a little short news video. We'll just see how it goes. Want to get your feedback, see if you like this style of content or not. If you do, I can continue covering news. If not, well, we don't have to do it. But we got the first information on the next title in the Kiseki series, Kuro no Kiseki II CRIMSON SiN. One of the reasons I wanted to do this video as well, in addition to trying something new, is also just because I'm a huge fan of the Kiseki series, and so I was interested to kind of see what they have to say about the next title. First things first, though, we can kind of see the key visual here. Not really going to talk about this so we don't spoil anything, because I do have some thoughts on this key visual based off of playing the first game, but I'll keep that out of this video for now, to avoid spoilers. People have not played or do not know the story of the first Kuro no Kiseki. But we can see the title will be Kuro no Kiseki II, with the subtitle of CRIMSON SiN. Again, it's a very interesting title name, one I can't really talk about without spoiling anything, but let's just say that if you play through the first game, this title will make some sense to you, and it's very interesting. So let's scroll down here a little bit. We're not going to go past this point because we don't want to go through the story section. I have kind of skimmed over this, and this does kind of elaborate on what happened in the first game. So we'll just read what we have here. So it's just saying that this is going to be the next title after its 40th anniversary work. A new, further polished story following the Legend of Heroes Kuro no Kiseki's first chapter, which depicts the people living between light and darkness in the Republic of Calvard, with the young Spriggan von Arkride as its protagonist. Interesting. A further polished story. I hope that's the case. One of my few complaints, one of my many complaints actually, with the first Kuro no Kiseki title was how unpolished its story actually felt. I do think it's the weakest game in the series, and there are a number of reasons for that, but one of them is just with the story. There's a lot of unnecessary dialogue, a lot of repeated dialogue, and a lot of filler content, really. So hopefully this is true, that they're polishing that up and they're going to make a much more refined story that's closer to what they did with Hajimari no Kiseki, or Trails into Reverie, which was, I think, one of the more polished games that they've done. So that's pretty good news if it pans out that way. We can see that the illustrator Inami Katsumi will be returning as the character designer, so that's good. The character designs for Kuro no Kiseki were very, very good. So what we got here, the sequel inherits and polishes the strong points of the first game, such as its unique battle system that seamlessly transitions from field battles to command battles. Yeah, the battle system was one of the highlights of Kuro no Kiseki. Contrary to what people thought, it did focus much more heavily on command battles, to the point where field battles were only there to set up command battles, and I don't really have a problem with that. I know some people were looking forward to more action into the title, which that wasn't really what this introduced, but we'll see how they elaborate on the battle system moving forward. I actually did very much enjoy Kuro no Kiseki's battle system. My only hope is that maybe they make the game a bit more difficult, because even on the game's hardest difficulty, Kuro no Kiseki is by far and away the easiest game in the series, to the point to where even if you limit yourself and like what you're able to do, and you take away you self-impose restrictions on yourself to try and make the game harder, it is still an absolute joke, which is unfortunate because it's fun, but the game just doesn't push back against you. So hopefully with their polishing the strong points, hopefully some of that polish includes polishing up the difficulty of the game, because it doesn't have any right now. Moving on, though, we have the LGC alignment system, in which the player's law, gray, and chaos stats fluctuate according to their actions. I don't know if I would consider this a strong point of the first game. It was definitely something I was looking forward to going into the first game. However, unfortunately, the LGC system, the alignment system, basically meant absolutely nothing in the grand scheme of things. It says here that it fluctuated according to the player's actions. This is untrue. The system did not fluctuate. It was just a point system where you got points. You did side quests, you got points towards, one or two of these. There were a couple times you could have a few decisions you could make, and one might give you law, one might give you gray, but there was never any consequences for your actions. So hopefully if they are going to polish the system up and maybe make changes to it, hopefully they make it to where the decisions you make are actually meaningful, and maybe make this system actually mean something, because at least with the first game, the system may as well not exist. So I do hope they polish this up, because it was something moving into the first game I was kind of looking forward to. Maybe having your choices actually mean something, but they ended up not meaning something. So hopefully the polish they're talking to with regards to the alignment system is making the system actually mean something. That would be nice. Let's see. Additionally, the Legend of Heroes Kuro no Kiseki II CRIMSON SiN includes numerous unique content such as a wealth of side content that utilizes its Calvard setting. Oh yeah, I mean, that's good. Considering that the first game, Kuro no Kiseki, had almost no side content whatsoever. There were a handful, and a literal handful, of battle simulator fights, basically where you refought enemies at a slightly higher level. But other than that, there was no side content whatsoever in the first game. No fishing, no card games, no Palm Party, like everything that we've come to know since around the second game in the entire series, none of that stuff was here. So hopefully they're not referring to just side quests. Hopefully they're actually referring to some other things to do to maybe break up the story, because one of the things that really hurt the first game, Kuro no Kiseki, for me is that because there was nothing to break up the story, it made the already long and overly wordy story feel even more so, and it kind of dragged it down because of that. So hopefully they are adding some cool stuff to that. Personally, I would like to see some Vantage Masters. I know some people don't like that game. I very much enjoyed Vantage Masters. That's kind of what I hope. And obviously, you know, kind of want some fishing back. It's always fun to catch all the fish and get some nice quartz for that. So hopefully that's what they're referring to here. But let's see. It says, please look forward to the next game, the latest entry in the Trail series, which has been further upgraded as a new chapter in the story of the Republic. Well, cool. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. After playing the first game, I am more on the cautiously optimistic side of things, because like I said, the first game was, I believe, the weakest in the series and had the most issues. One thing that it doesn't really talk about in here, this game released in probably the buggiest state I've ever seen for a Falcom title. Like, certain skills just flat out didn't work. Certain quartz just flat out didn't work. Even now, after it's received multiple patches, there are still quartz and skills that just don't work as they say they do. But earlier on, the game had major frame rate issues. It had super long load times. It ran really, really bad, and it had a lot of bugs in it. The game was obviously just needed more time. So even though it's not mentioned anywhere here in this stuff, I believe this is coming directly from Kondo himself, or at least from a representative for Falcom. I'm hoping that even though it's not mentioned here, they're going to take some time and polish that end of the game too, so we don't get the buggy mess that was the original Kuro no Kiseki. So yeah, that's the video this time. Don't really know how to end it here, but hopefully you guys like it. Do let me know what you think about me covering news content for JRPGs and stuff on the channel. I know a while back I did put out a survey and asking if there was some other type of content people wanted to see, and this was one of the higher rated things, so hopefully you guys like it. But if not, you know, we don't have to do it. I can still just keep putting out the usual guide content and stick only to that. But if you do, I can start covering some more news on the JRPG front. So do let me know in the comment section below. And if you did enjoy the video, or if you enjoy any of the other content I have on the channel, please be sure to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I'll try to get as much stuff out to you as I possibly can. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video.